two major things. It came down to playmaking and turnovers. Last game, um, OKC's their their weakness showed well and strong, and in response to that, Shea had went from 8 turnovers to how much did he have? To one, and he dropped a career high in assists in the playoffs. So you have those two things going down, and it was a recipe for a big win, for a decisive win. Um, and really, you could stop it at that. Um, the Pacers. But if we want to get into detail, the Pacers came out really strong. I thought this was going to be a surefire heavyweight fight, going blow for blow, and not a 20-point game like a lot of people thought it was going to be. And of course, Halle gets injured. Second quarter, it kind of became a slugfest. Um, it kind of seemed like OKC took their foot off the gas, but then the Pacers just kept pacering on, always moving, fighting for boards, uh, second chance possessions, things like that. Just winning the 50-50 balls, and then it was kind of strange. I thought TJ started out a little flat, which is why I think Ben probably started over him. I think in the second or third quarter, but eventually became the TJ show. And then it kind of continued in the second half. But OKC blitz came. They once it started, Caruso was subbed back in to guard him. They started blitzing him. They took that punch and they really just couldn't come back. But great game overall.
Ford?
I thought it was a good game. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was a good game for the most part. I mean, I don't know. Once Holly went down, I was like, this is going to be a blowout. But it took a while. Pacers hung in there. I think they did a good job for the most part, trying to handle adversity with him out. But Thunder was just too much, man. It was just Shea getting to the free throw line. It was just one of those games where you just can tell they was over with. At some point, it was going to be a blowout. So, kind of deflating, though. I wish they was all, both healthy. But where was Siakam? Siakam didn't show up. Second half, he was pretty much nowhere to be found. He just couldn't score enough, man. Miles Turner was nowhere to be found. There was just been a bunch of no-shows and a TJ show. So, that's pretty much the game in a wrap. I mean, Thunder played great. Shea was awesome. Mark did a good job this game coaching and subbing people out. And they won their run towards the end, and they held on. And Pacers tried, but Thunder just too much. I'm glad Shea got that championship, though. He deserved it. So, hell of a season. Pacers be back next season for sure, though. So. They'll be there. Maybe not the finals, but they'll be there.
Lay?
Yeah, man. I thought it was a great game overall. I missed the entire first quarter. That's why I was kind of scrambling back and forth to see what happened. But overall, from what I've seen, I think that was a great defensive effort by OKC, especially that third quarter. They completely turned it around offensively and defensively. Big shout out to TJ McConnell. He played like his life was on the line. That was a great effort by him as well. Big shout out to Halliburton, man. I think I watched some highlights of the first quarter, and he was pretty sparking, going pretty hot for the first quarter, and unfortunately he went down. So wish him a speedy recovery on that. But I think this game would have been a completely different ball game if he was playing. Probably would have went to overtime as I predicted. But hopefully to see him back in the 2027 season. But other than that, I think this is a great overall effort by OKC, and congrats to those guys.
Matt?
I think this was an absolutely terrible way to end the season. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit. I think that this is going to be one of those games and finals where everybody will say what could have been. Right when you look at the game. Tyrese Halliburton is the guy for the Pacers, and to go out so early crushed whatever hope I feel like the Pacers had. They hung on, but it was they were scratching and clawing, and that was how they were able to stay close. And then, it was the third quarter that OKC outscored them by 14 to go ahead and cruise to victory. it came down to really turnovers, for the Pacers. I mean, they completely, 23-8 on the turnover battle. And then, like I said, it's unfortunate that Halliburton got hurt because, when you look at superstars on both teams, right? Halliburton and SGA didn't really shoot very good. I mean, he kind of came out, shot terrible for the most part, especially from the perimeter. It was 2 for 11, 2 for 12, somewhere along those lines. I mean, he got his points from the free throw line. So I think this game was unfortunate because the injury to the Achilles, but at the end of the day, you can only play what's in front of you, and that's what OKC did. They went out, they took care of business, they handled it. They are the champs, and they were the best team for the whole season. I just don't think that anybody in this room really thought, even 20, 30 games into the season, that the finals was going to be OKC and the Pacers.
Not even close.
If you did, I'd call you full of shit, but maybe you had it written down hidden somewhere. But congrats to them. But
I had OKC.
I don't believe you. But congrats to them, and you turn the page, and now you instantly get ready. The final thing I'll say is that the East is 100% wide open, because now you can arguably say 2 of the 5, or you could even say 2 of the 3 top superstars in that conference are gone next year. So, Kate, it's all you.
Man, first off, congrats to OKC. Beautiful season. Just beautiful season. But like Matt was saying, man, this was something that this was like a terrible way to end the season, because how the series was going, it was just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And now we get now I lost his goddamn name. We get Hallie goes down in the first quarter. He scored 9 points in 7 minutes. He was going crazy. Yeah, they was really fighting, I would say, for like the first half, but after like the third quarter, 8-minute mark, it just slipped away. They had so many turnovers. They was just discombobulated. Stuff was just going bad for them offensively, even though they were still shooting better from the field. Then OKC, it was just really the turnovers. But yeah, congrats to OKC. They had a great year.
Yeah. For me, I feel like going into this game, I had the Thunder winning anyway. Obviously, I wish the circumstances were a little bit different, but hats off to OKC, man. I mean, over the last 5 years, the best team has ended up winning the championship. So you can say what you want, but the best team always ends up winning. I do think it probably would have been a closer game. It's very hard to play a game after you see your best player, your energizer, the energy of your whole team go down like that. It's hard to just just put it away, but it's always in the back of their mind. You could just see, even for the first couple shots each of the Pacers took, they're like, I got to try to force something now because Hallie's out. You know what I mean? I thought that was evident early. And then OKC was, I think, also in shock as well. And at the end, or in the second half, they were like, okay, let's find ourselves. Let's lock in defensively. And then we have guys like Case and Wallace and Caruso doing their thing defensively and offensively. It's going to be a hard task for the Pacers to overcome. But I think overall, I'm excited where this goes, for the future of the NBA, for the NBA, for the East going into next season. There's just so many different little things that you can look at. And I think for me, going into today, I thought the Pacers probably would be your best team in the East. Now they don't have their best player for at least a year. Do they still want to pay the luxury tax, things like that? So now I kind of want to open it up instead of everybody just talking one by one, more of like a conversation. What are you guys' thoughts on just the overall outlook, where the Thunder go from here? Because you had Chet Holmgren, who missed 50 games this year. You could tell he never really got into the rhythm like he was at the beginning of the season. You have people like Shea. This is an all-time great season. He's now the 11th player to win a Finals MVP and the regular season MVP in the same season. So, I want to open up to you guys. What are you guys' thoughts on all that?
Sam Presti can finally talk his shit, man. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Stockpiling draft picks
Yeah.
came in handy.
Yeah, I think for OKC,
He's not going to
it's
change
like,
now, too.
looking at it for them, I think, you couldn't have asked for a better season, but at the same time, if you look at today's league, it's really hard to repeat. I don't know if they will. Looking at the Western Conference, I mean, it's only getting better. I mean, I think as far as your serious contenders next year, I think obviously you've got OKC. I really think Houston has entered the contender status after the trade they made today. They look very complete. We'll get into that later. I think if the Lakers are able to get a center to pair with Luka and possibly LeBron, I think they're nothing to sleep on. You can never count out Nikola Jokic. Anthony Edwards is still there. Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler are going to get their first full season. Dallas has Cooper Flag, AD, and then Kyrie's going to come back healthy, so you can't dismiss them as well. San Antonio up and rising. So I think the key for OKC is they just need to just continue to play within themselves and don't focus on the rest of the West, because you look at it, like when Boston won last year, the goal throughout the rest of the Eastern Conference was to beat Boston. That's how Cleveland designed their team. That's how the Knicks designed their team, by trading for guys like Bridges and getting all the Villanova guys on the same team and trading for Cat. It's all about that. So you're already seeing even before all this that Western Conference teams are shaping their teams to win. Houston just did that today. So for OKC, I think you just have to block that out and just go play basketball, because you've proven once that you can win. Now you're just going to have to go do it again. It's going to be tougher, though, because, it's going to be you against the world. So, yeah, I think that's it for OKC.
Yeah, I think for OKC, it's a matter of keeping the team you've got, right? You keep what you can. You're going to lose some. How are you going to divvy up that money to have, to have that roster that almost a image of what you have this year? The one thing that they've got going for them on the Western side is the Western side. A lot of the players that been named are either in their prime right now or kind of on the way down, kind of like LeBron. I think Kyrie's at his prime, have been there, but he's going to start trickling down. AD's kind of the same way. Jokic is a unicorn, so it's a little bit different. So that plays into OKC's favor. So they're so young, and I don't think any of those guys are in their prime. And that's what's really unique about this situation they're in, is that their whole team, nobody's in their prime, in terms of superstars that they have. So I think the West is 100% loaded. I know Ashton won't let me live that comment down that the West is better than the East right now, but they are, and I know that right now. But I think for the Thunder, I think it's just retain what you can with your roster, try to have the same thing, and then rinse and repeat, because going back to the finals it is extremely hard, because now every team's going to give you their best, right? They're gunning for you. But the thing that plays into OKC's favor, like I said, is youth, and their whole roster is filled with it. So the ability to run and rotate and play the season and know what you got to do. The thing that they've got now is that they've got experience in the playoffs. They've proven to themselves and they've proven to the league that age doesn't matter. We can get there, and we've got a leader, and that's what SGA is. I mean, he's a bona fide leader for that team. So they will 100% be a threat and a favorite to win the finals next year.
Yeah. Going off of that, like I mentioned to you guys before this started, I wonder if people think you can't have post games with your entire team at the end of the game, like the Nutcracker. Draymond Green used to say. Man, people better learn from these two teams. They're gonna have to. This is the way you're gonna have to be successful for the next 5 years when the CBA ends, and it's only going to get harder when after the draft, which is way too close to the NBA Finals. It's only going to get harder when Adam Silver announces the expansion teams, because you're going to have to rely on depth, not empty out your draft pick your draft picks. I mean, like what Houston did today, they emptied them out, but they still have. And if you empty them out, you still have young players that you can use to recoup your assets. And also, this entire team, from the first guy to the 12th guy, is on payroll next year, which is incredible.
Damn.
They don't have
That's
to.
crazy.
They don't have to. They have literally no free agency to deal with if they don't want to. It is incredible. No drama.
Sam
and this
Presti
team
did
is
a great job with that
underserved,
team.
so,
I think Chet's up for an
Yeah.
extension, that rookie extension.
Yeah.
Besides
Shit,
that,
Sean.
yeah. Well, yeah. He could get one, but they could kick it down. They could kick it down the road. Is what I'm
No,
saying.
he-
They don't have to
he
do it
won't
in the summer.
he gonna get it.
I mean, I'm just saying in general. Like he's technically.
No,
under
yeah, no,
contract
I'm with
this
you. Like they don't
year,
have
too.
to. Yeah,
Yeah. So this is
and
just
that's kind of interesting too,
I mean-
because like from Houston, from that trade today, like they didn't really give up their youth. They still have all their youth. They just added talent.
Yeah.
And so that's also
Exactly.
another way to build your team. Like OKC, like you said, I think the way to build a team, a championship team, is you need the youth, you need a star, and then you need 1 to 2 to 3. In OKC's case, like 4 to 5 defenders, and then they have a 4 or 5.
The idea is to
completion.
build not only depth. Sorry, because not only depth,
No, you
but you
good.
need versatility.
Mhm.
Versatility. So with OKC, for example, you can go super small, you can go double big, you can go switchy, you can do every type of defensive coverage under the book. You can go 5 out, you can go traditional pick and roll. I mean, this kind of reminds me of a championship, like maybe the 2020 Lakers, when they could just do everything. You could go AD Dwight, go big like that's.
Throw that in there.
I mean, that's
Throw that in there, didn't you?
Can you adjust to every team that you're going to play?
Yeah,
Every style.
and I think they're way more versatile than that team too. And I think
The COVID ran Lakers. Yeah, I do too.
they're more like the
Wow.
the Celtics team from last year. You know what I mean? But you never know. Like we say, they have this huge runway, and it's their league for the next 3 to 4 years, and
Yeah.
you just never know. So I'm happy they at least got it, because winning a championship is never having to apologize, saying you're sorry. So they're immortalized forever. They have
One big thing before somebody else goes, they don't have the problem of egos either, because after
that's
the
huge.
Thunder made it to
No,
the finals
facts.
10 years ago, they went into the Olympics, and then Harden was like, okay, James Harden telling me I need my own team, D-Wade telling me I need my own team, I'm gonna go get my own team. Deuces. So Jalen Williams has already committed to being the number 2. So
Yeah.
everyone's settled in their
Yeah.
role. It's great.
I think another thing to be considered is injuries. You saw that with Boston this
Yeah.
year. You're not guaranteed to be healthy either. And I do think that, you see it a lot. Like, you even see it in sports like baseball too, because you're playing year round. It's not like the NFL where you get like a 6-7 month break. When you're playing the longest, usually there's fatigue that's brought with that because you have the shortest off season. So I think they just need to rest up.
Yeah.
But back to my point, I think injuries are an important thing to consider, because you're about to go play another 82-game season plus playoffs. And you saw Boston in the second round. I mean, almost everybody on their team. Like, Jaylen Brown was playing with a meniscus. KP had some viral illness, and then Tatum tore his Achilles. So
Still don't know what the illness was.
yeah, injuries are a big deal too. So of course we don't wish that on anybody, but nothing is guaranteed in this league, and we learned that tonight. I mean, it's very sad. So I think that's another thing to be considered when it comes to how hard it is to repeat in today's NBA.
Yeah, and I think OKC got the blueprint too. I mean, unlike Boston, they had more aging veterans like KP and Drew Holiday, and even Derek White. I think he's 30 years old this year. So Shea's 25. Everybody else is younger than him. So I think from an injury aspect, Chet's had 2
Shea's
major
26.
ones. Shea's 26. Yeah. So from an injury aspect, if Chet could just stay healthy, he's the most injury prone out of all of them. But they still won. And they still won 68 games with him missing 50 games. So
Yeah.
Damn,
I think when y'all are
yeah.
I think when y'all are comparing the Celtics and the Thunder, kind of how y'all are doing. I mean, the thing with the Thunder is that they just won at a much earlier age. The Celtics had a young roster, right? And then they started getting people gotten picked off the roster.
Yeah.
I mean, they built a young roster the same way, though. They accumulated all these picks, and then they were able to go capitalize on them, and that's exactly what OKC did. They just had a stockpile of picks, and they were able to make strategic moves, and then now they just happen to win early.
They microwaved it.
That's right.
That's before people started getting $300 million contracts too.
Yeah.
Because like Jay Williams, he got an extension, or I mean,
Shay's up for an extension this year too. He'll make $75 million.
That's right. But like, Jalen Williams is still on his rookie deal. Chet's still on his rookie deal. The second most expensive guy on this roster is Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yeah. I think we'll see some drama. I only say that. I don't think everybody will stay, but it would shock me if everybody said I'm good in the role I'm at. Let's just win another one, because we've seen that.
That's not reality.
We've seen that where people win.
I agree.
They want the money. They got their ring, and then that's really most athletes. Most athletes aren't subtle and just saying, "Hey, I want to win as much as I can." So no.
Yeah, I think the OKC, they definitely still set the heavy favorites. Just like Ashton said, Chet and Jalen are still in the rookie deal, which is crazy to me. So that means that their owner doesn't even have to go into the tax unless they want to. And what they're sitting on, 20-something second-round picks and a couple first-round picks. I think the opportunity to expand is endless for them.
They've got multiple on Wednesday. They've got a lot on Wednesday.
Yep. See, so that's crazy to me.
Yeah, like they just won the championship, and I think they're going to draft 2 to 3 new guys on Wednesday. And that's not even counting what they have.
It's way too close. It's way too close.
I don't expect them to keep those picks, though. I don't think they can. I don't think they'll take any. I think you could just see them trade.
How many guys are they working out right now? How many guys are they working out?
That's a great question.
I would, if I had to guess, they probably worked out maybe 2 to 3. In my opinion, I think they're just going to trade out. But also, like you guys said, they have so many picks. Like, Dort's like, I'm one of the best defenders. He go get it back. Oh wait,
they can build another one. The way they did it, Cam Pressey can build
you can upgrade from Dort. Honestly.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Dort could leave. You still got Wallace. You still got Caruso, and then I could also bring in or package some of these first together. Oh, by the way, I got Utah's first. Oh, I got Philly's first. Let me package those together. Let me see if I can trade up into the draft.
Yeah, Pressey got the.
I mean, their runway, I think, by far is still the best organization. Like, you want to be a part of today.
As long as they stay healthy. As long as they stay healthy.
Yeah.
But even then, like,
I agree.
No, I don't want to say that. No.
They're too young.
They're
like
too
the
young.
5th youngest team in the league. They should be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, they keep playing the way they play. They should be perfectly fine.
Yeah. Do you guys think? I don't know how to word this. Do you guys think that there was anything gained from like OKC perspective that you didn't expect that they would gain this playoffs besides just experience? Like, because I know like we all thought going into the playoffs, we thought, oh, could J-Dub do it? Could Chet do it? You think there's like some sort of like reassurance, belief from those guys that they have now? Like, oh, we're champions now. Like maybe they could take it up another level as well.
I think
they're gonna have to.
You won 68 games. I mean, you believed in yourself. It's hard to get higher than, you know what I mean? I mean, I think the confidence for them was already there, and now they just have the experience part of it, saying, hey, we made it to a playoffs. We understand what it takes. Fast forward all the way to this time next year, and we're not going to be having these questions of, can OKC get through the playoffs? Can they fight through a 7-game series? Those questions are not needed to be answered no more. We know as the public.
I want to see, are they going to fight for the 1 seed again for 3 years in a row? We've never seen a team win this early.
I don't see why not. Yeah, I mean.
Would that be the 3rd straight year they'll be in the 1 seed if they were to do it?
This will be the 3rd straight year. Why not? Which is insane.
I think the biggest thing for OKC right now, like when you talk about experience, is I think for them, obviously as a team, if they stay together, like nothing is going to scare them anymore. But if you look at it from an individual player perspective, this is something that they can carry for the rest of their careers. Like you look at like when Caruso joined this team, they joined the team and everybody just talked about his championship pedigree because he's won a championship. He knows what it takes to win a championship. So I think that's something for them. It's like, if J-Dub ever goes elsewhere, any of these other guys, they're going to go join those teams and become championship competitors because they've been there. I think that's one thing that they can carry over. But for OKC, like, yeah, nothing's going to scare them anymore. They just played Game 7 of the NBA Finals, so it's like no matter where they go or whatever they have to walk into, they're going to be fine.
If there's been anything that's been gained, it's that this is what I would say if I'm Mark Dagnall. It's that, people were doubting us the whole way, and we kept proving them wrong. And no matter how good you think you are, a team like the Pacers can beat you. So, because they exploited the weaknesses we've been talking about during the past 2 or 3 weeks, this finals have been going on. So if I'm him, I'm saying we still have work to do to improve ourselves, stay on top, things like that. Like, moving the ball more, playmaking, things like that. But those would be the only things I would grasp if I'm him. And probably, individual players now. A guy like Jalen Williams who dropped 40 and then was inconsistent the next
That was minus
the
40.
next game, I guess. And then, then it was minus 40. So, guys. So if I'd say from a team perspective, Mark can use that as motivation to keep the guys locked in next season, especially still this young team before if their egos get too big, and individual players like the young guys to get better, or Shea to work on whatever he needs to work.
They're
I
so
guess
young.
for Shea,
They're not perfect basketball players. They all have to work on their games.
they're not in their prime
yeah.
yet, so they can still keep
They got to
expanding
put the
their
clean
game
up for
too.
sure.
Because that's how dynasties are created. Like if they could like get greedy, like, oh yeah, we won, but I still can't do this, or I can still perfect that. I think that could go a long way as well.
Like Shea has shots that, like, if he gets a floater, I think he'll truly be unguardable. Because to me, it's still Jokic is the most unguardable player in the league, and he's probably number 2. But if he just adds that one move back to his bag, in his bag, I think he'll truly be unguardable.
Hey, don't forget about that boy Luka down there in LA, man.
Oh,
And hey, we're gonna be here next year, baby. We're gonna be on this pod.
come on.
We're gonna be here next year. Know what
Come
you
on,
think,
man.
Ford? You got any thoughts? Tay, you got a little bit quiet. Talk to me. What you guys' thoughts on OKC, the future, the past? Now you want to get into Shea?
Man,
What's up with Shea?
I think they're not gonna repeat. I don't see it happening. I just think that no one's repeated yet in how many years now? Since the Thunder? Not the Warriors. I'm sorry.
It's 2018 Golden State. Yeah, Golden State.
Yeah, so I don't see that happening. But I still think they're gonna have a high. They probably get 60 wins somewhere in there.
They'll still win a lot
Everybody
of
stay
games.
healthy. Oh yeah, they win a lot of games. But I think they should really do something with Lou Dort, man. I don't know. He's great defensively, but offensively, he's just atrocious out there offensively, man. I can't stomach it. I hate watching him. I say hate watching him, but it's just he just looks like
He's like the Canadian Julius
football player.
Randle.
He looks
He
like
Canadian
he
Julius
looks like
Randle.
James Harrison out there.
The
He looks like James
Canadian
Harrison out there
Julius
running
Randle.
around shooting a basketball. It's crazy.
He a weak link, huh?
No, yeah, to me he's the weak link. To me he's the weak link, yes, for sure. But other than that, I think they should just do something with that. Maybe add somebody else on the bench. Maybe do something with their bench, get a little more score on the bench. Maybe. But other than that, I think they'd be fine.
Yeah.
I just don't think they'll winning. I think it'll be another. I don't think it'll be East team. It'll be another West team for sure. Hopefully, it'll be LA. But we'll see what happens.
Ford, I don't know how you feel, but I think the real villain on who should be traded off OKC is Kenrich Williams. One of my boys.
I hate
is a
watching him
OKC
too.
fan. Every time
I hate watching him because that nasty ass haircut he got.
That's a nut ass haircut. But I don't. If you just watch Lou Dort, man, just watch it.
That's
Man.
good boy, Isaiah
Like,
Joe,
what are
man.
you doing?
Yeah, he played
I
like a
think
football player.
Dort's
Like,
important,
always-
though. It's hard for me to just see them get rid of Dort.
I don't know, just look weird. Like he just run down the court holding square all day. It's just like,
But Dort's like he's
I
that
don't
one guy
understand.
that you need on the team, that enforcer, the Pat
Yeah.
Bev, the Draymond. He's that enforcer. That
I
you need.
agree.
yeah, for sure. But
But he
Somebody
does
gotta-
look lost sometimes. He's running around the spam and square. So yeah.
I'll just be like, but, oh man, I think they'd be good though.
I think we
I'm happy
need
for Shea,
Draymond to
though.
lay him out
He's
so he can stop flopping. I give him a real reason to flop, right?
Draymond might get
I like
hurt trying to
that.
lay Dort out. That's a solid
Oh.
move. That's
It's gonna be
solid
subliminal,
dude.
some subliminal Draymond stuff from the OKC fans tonight. I know Twitter probably burning up.
Dude.
Mm.
Yeah.
Taste
Let's
it.
hop in.
Oh.
Let's hop into this real quick. Shea winning Finals MVP to cap off such a historic season.
Man.
Where do you guys? I mean, there's not a lot of point guards or guards in general that have had a year like Shea's had. So like, what does this do for him for his all time status? Because he still has so many years to go.
Hey, if there's a top 100 team, he gonna be on it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Top 100.
I mean, yeah, dude. What he's done is crazy.
So-
Scoring title, MVP, conference finals MVP, NBA champion, and finals MVP. And it's insane.
Who was the last person to do that? Jordan?
Yeah, last guard or
To win
No, the last
to win
point
all
guard.
those
Who's the last
MVPs
point
plus
guard,
the
Jordan?
scoring
Magic?
title.
Yeah, scoring title plus MVP.
LeBron.
Plus the scoring title, I'm not sure.
I'm thinking.
LeBron or Steph.
Was it?
No, you said
Yeah.
scoring title.
I don't think
MVP.
LeBron.
I don't think
doesn't
so.
have
LeBron
any
is
scoring
scoring
title.
That's
LeBron.
Now
great.
we won an MVP or finals MVP now.
Going MVP
And
and
Curry
finals.
doesn't have the finals MVPs. Curry doesn't have the finals
Definitely
MVPs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I was gonna say, like, a guy like James Harden, he doesn't have the rings. You gotta think. I think maybe I think Shaq had all these: scoring
Yeah.
title, MVP, and
Yeah.
championship.
Yeah, that sounds
So
about right.
It could have been 20 years or 25 years. You know, it's
Wait, Shea won scoring title, correct?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
yeah.
Okay, so actually, I think he completed the entire All NBA scoring
Yeah.
title,
yeah, for
Finals
sure.
MVP, championship. Was he all defensive?
No.
I don't think so. No.
No.
No, he
No.
wasn't. He wasn't. The only thing
Oh,
he
that
didn't
was
win is
wild.
All-Star MVP. That's it. That's probably it.
I mean, this is one of the best
All-Star
seasons we've
MVP
ever
so
seen
meaningless
from a
at this
player.
point.
Period. So
Yeah, that's a hell of a season.
Yeah. Wait, did
Yeah.
Shea lead the league in steals? Or I know he was close.
He did.
I don't
was
think he
up
did.
I thought he did.
Wait,
Didn't he?
was
At one point.
did he
At one
lead
point.
it?
No. Dyson did. Daniels, didn't he?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought.
Oh,
he was
Dyson
like
Daniels,
top
that's
three, I
right.
think, right?
That's why he got the
Yeah,
award.
Dyson
That's why he got the award.
Dyson Daniels had an incredible defensive season.
Yeah,
Mhm.
but he also won it because of those steals.
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah, but SGA deserved it, man. He went out balling like his life depended on it. What he put up, like 30 shots tonight. So I mean, like, he went out
He
there.
went
he-
Chucky.
Hey, I'll
had
tell you
to.
what.
He had
He
to.
shot a lot of threes. I'm surprised. He shot like 33s. I'm like, damn, he messed up my parlay, man. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. He's never taking as many threes.
Yeah.
But it was awesome, man. He did a great job, man. He was every time you look up, he's hitting a three. I'm like, dang, okay, all
Yeah.
right. So it looked like you can tell he really worked on that during the off time. So
Mhm.
it showed through.
I think a lot of young
SGA was
players
top
could,
10
like,
still.
oh, no, go ahead.
He's top 10.
Top 10.
He was top 10? At what? What
He
number?
was top 10.
In steals?
He was right at 10. Right at 10.
Oh, he
In
was.
steals per game.
Okay.
Got that too.
And a
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, right at 10. And above him on his team was Cason Wallace, who came off the bench. Cason Wallace was
I mean, he
7.
had 3 steals in the first quarter today. So,
Case of
and this is year 2 for Wallace. He
Yeah,
probably
He
doesn't
showed
know
his
watch
ass
film.
in the last game too.
Dang, it's year 2 for him? It
Yeah.
sure is.
Yeah,
It
that's
sure
nasty,
is.
man.
And that's another
I-
crazy trade. I mean, they traded
Man,
Lively for Wallace, and now that
dang,
looks.
did they?
I mean, that's another conversation for another day, Mavericks fan, man. But
Yeah.
that looks
I'm,
crazy. now,
I'm
like,
good with it. I love D Live down here in Dallas.
I
That's my
love
boy.
Lively too. Yeah, and he look a little
Nice.
suspect without Luka, but that's all
That
right.
goes to show the league is
Yeah.
paying for defense. Offense is somewhat overrated, but the league is paying for defense.
Yeah.
Defensive
Yeah.
players don't get paid,
Yeah,
though.
I'll give
so-
you that. But
Yeah,
honestly,
but OKC got about
I
five.
don't know if any of us really
Mm.
answered it. I don't know if any of us really answered the question, honestly. So to answer it,
I'm-
Kalen, thanks for the question, by the way. Like it's spread.
One.
I think this puts him
amazing.
as for sure the number one point guard behind Curry and the number one guy in his generation for the active point guards. And all time, I'm ready to give him top 10 easily.
That's fair.
If we're
Yeah.
and I think he'll be knocking on the door of top
5.
3 real if he gets another one
Well,
for sure.
hold on, wait. You said season, though.
No, she said all time for the question. All time.
Season.
All-time point guard.
I think right now
It's all right. Mhm.
Well, for
Yeah. No, so like it's not the all-time ranking, just this season alone. Like you
This
just
season alone, where you ranking
copy-paste
at?
this.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, if I'm over here like, huh?
I mean, it's
Oh, dude, I'm ready
probably
to-
it's probably a top 5 point guard season.
Yeah, I
all
low key
time,
give it
'cause-
5.
Or
I think
maybe
at the end of the
probably
day,
top 3.
We'll run down.
I think at the end of the day, what Steph Curry was able to do in 2015 and 2016 stands alone with the unanimous MVP.
Oh yeah.
I think this is really up there, mainly because he accomplished every single feat you can think of. I mean, he won everything, so obviously that has to put you up there. I'd have to really go do some studying to really give this an official answer. I'm sure that Magic has had a couple of absolutely fantastic seasons. You have Steph
Jerry
Curry.
West too,
Not-
I'm
honestly.
gonna give it 5.
Yeah, Jerry West.
Jerry West,
You got
Steve Nash
Curry,
went
Harden.
back when he was in his prime.
Oh yeah, I mean, dude, if
James
James
Harden.
Harden, if James Harden was able to win a ring in one of those late, like
Yeah, that'd been awesome.
2017
The game winner.
seasons,
Mhm.
oh my
Well,
gosh,
No,
bro.
It didn't happen.
Dude, James.
Damn.
Yeah, people forget James Harden led the league in assists and
Wow.
scoring. Like, wow. Like,
And don't
Yeah.
forget about
I don't even think too many people were near him.
Josh's favorite player, Westbrook. You know,
I was
Mr.
gonna
Triple
say,
Double, back to back
Westbrook
triple double.
averaging triple-double.
Oh yeah, well,
Back-
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
Low
If-
key,
But you
yeah.
can't-
Westbrook's season's up there too.
But if
Hold on,
her
wait,
question is,
hold on,
Win
wait,
the
hold
chip.
on, hold on.
Win the chip.
It says season, man. Come on.
before,
Huh?
well, but she
Yeah, that was all time.
Taylor-
Yeah, it's all time.
Taylor could,
season.
she
Yeah,
could
it was,
collectively be
not
saying the
compared-
season
not compared
and
to
the
this season right here,
postseason. She
The
But he
only
averaged
difference
he
is
averaged a triple double.
he just
MV
won a-
MVP,
Shea just won the he just won the
scoring
title.
leader.
yeah.
Finals
That's what I'm
MVP,
saying.
You win a
That's like the only
championship.
difference between.
So you
all
think
of
his
them.
season was better than the rest of his triple double season?
Yes.
Okay.
If she's
What
referencing
were we talking
just
about?
the regular season,
I think she's referencing including the championship.
that's what I'm saying. Okay,
Yeah,
and that's
okay,
that's
yeah.
kind of where some of these guys
Yeah.
don't tip the scale where SGA did, because if it's the whole season from game 1 to the championship,
Right.
you have to put Westbrook's season it stops, right? Because he didn't win.
Yeah.
Harden, same thing as Ashton
Exactly.
said, it
That's what I'm
stops.
getting at.
Steve Nash, it stops. Curry is on a different level because Curry got to the finish line.
Unanimous at
Yeah,
that.
Steph stands alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
agree. It's
with-
probably either
you know-
one of Curry's that Curry season or one of Magic's.
It
But
has to be that.
just like Vince said, there would have to be some research involved because Magic probably had some amazing seasons that none of us watched. Jerry West. I mean, there's plenty of point guards in
Oscar Robertson.
So you're telling me
What?
What'd you say
Okay.
for it?
No, go ahead. No.
I'm sure
No
you
way.
and Ford watch more than you're letting on here, but I'll let it go.
It's a
Wow.
good question though.
Wow. You watch
That's
golf
a good
now.
question.
Remember that.
Thank you, babe, for commenting. I appreciate it. Let's
Yeah,
move
that's
on
nice.
though. Y'all got any
Yeah,
last
that's nice.
thoughts on the game overall, Thunder and Pacers, or should we move on?
Yeah,
It's up to y'all.
it's unfortunate that the Pacers had like the fourth guy in their season have like the fourth season-ending injury between James Wiseman, Isaiah Jackson, who for sure would have played, Jarris Walker, who would have played over Ben Shepherd, and Tyrese Halliburton.
Oh, they
This
did
is-
have
yeah,
James
so-
Wiseman. No wonder
Oh,
Tony.
yeah.
No wonder that Bradley
Yeah.
Because
Bum
Tony
playing.
Bradley.
That's
oh
right.
my God!
That's right.
Boy, I
Dude,
tell
I
you.
know.
Dude.
I
forgot.
So
Yeah.
I was surprised. So
Totally.
Mark Dagnall, if y'all remember last pod, we were like, "Is Mark Dagnall going to shore up his rotation?" He did. He really only played 7
You showed
guys.
it up.
I know. After
did.
Hallie got hurt, I'd like to think that. I mean, yeah, like Caruso played over 30 minutes and Wallace played over 26.
Yeah.
First time for this entire series. And then I'm like, as soon as I saw Bradley and the immediate Thomas Bryant sub in,
Oh, my
who
God.
was cold in the third quarter, and he just immediately
Didn't he?
Pick and pop.
got the three and shot it. I mean,
Yeah.
Hey,
he wasn't in the game for more than 1
Kevin's
second.
like, I'm not
literally.
throwing.
I'm like,
TJ's I'm
he's
not throwing you the
grasping
ball
for
in the game
straws.
down.
Random at the wreck. First shot, first
Yeah,
pass.
TJ
for
would
sure.
rather
All
get.
you see was this.
Did you
He did like
did you
this.
see it
I'm
pan to him? Thomas is like, I'm open. TJ was like, I gotta get a 5-second to
TJ
give
like,
you
I'm
the ball.
sorry, no,
Yeah.
you were holding L2 the whole time, man. Put your hand
Not-
down, man.
No, I just think that my last comments for the game, I'm on to the next season, is what could have been of this game is how I'll remember this playoff.
Yeah.
Thunder won,
Yeah.
give them their flowers, but man, it would have been so much closer. And you can convince me that the Pacers could have won this. You could 100% convince
Oh, yeah.
me that they wouldn't.
No
They'd
doubt.
have to be taking that paint off them Thunder buses tonight. Somebody be scrubbing them buses, and
Yeah.
put that on that Indiana bus. So
Man,
good
you know that's
season. though.
vinyl wrap. That's vinyl wrap, man. You know, there ain't no paint. That's vinyl wrap.
Vinyl wrap coming off.
2025. They ain't painting
Halliburton
no
was
more.
on pace for 40.
Coming off.
Halliburton
yeah,
was on
without
pace for
doubt.
40. He had
Easily.
9
Easily.
points in 7 minutes.
You want
This
on,
is
man.
something I wanted to
He
bring
was
up.
eating that.
This is something I wanted to bring up, and I bet y'all were thinking this too. Flashback to 2019 when KD comes back off of the calf strain against Toronto. I think he had 3 3-pointers in a row, and you're
He
looking at
did.
it, yeah.
He did.
And Toronto's up
Wow.
3-1, and you're thinking, oh shoot, here comes KD, here we go,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden, boom,
Mhm.
it happens. That
Dude,
like instantly
You're
when
absolutely
Tyrese
right.
went
He
down.
was cooking.
Damn,
When
you're
Tyrese
right.
went
Yeah,
down,
he
I was like, it was just like KD all over again, man. It was terrible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
KD was on fire. I remember
We
that.
live in a
game.
matrix,
Now you brought that up.
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
dude, kid,
Live in a
dude,
matrix,
Trey,
man. You hit
Trey
3
5,
threes and you wear the number 0.
100%, dude.
Yeah.
Bro,
Hey,
if
Ben.
he stayed healthy, oh man, Toronto stood
Oh,
no
yeah.
chance.
They would have
Hey, Ben.
repeated for sure. Even Clay, that game 6 had like crazy.
What's
before
good?
he
You
had
got
the
a question?
ACL.
Hey Ben, do you wake up sad in the morning?
Me,
Yeah, with that Dallas helmet above your bed? No. Okay.
the Cowboys.
He talked about it
Look,
before you got here. He talked a little bit before you got here.
look, man. I mean, honestly,
That's a crazy room though. Hey, I'm gonna send
Hey,
pictures
man.
to Joe. I got somebody got a crazy bathroom with nothing but Dallas in it. I'm sending to you.
hey, man, the Dallas Cowboys have a way of breaking my heart, but us sick fans always come back. You know what I'm saying? So we roll with the punches. This is our year.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think the Pacers had a great season. You know, they put our Bucks to shame in a nasty professional way. You know, but hats
Melt
off
the
to
ass.
them. I
Yes.
come up from a Bucks fan. I can't stand the Pacers. I swear to God, despise them. But you know, I think they had an incredible season. You know, hats off to Halliburton leading his guys on the way to being a game away from being an NBA champion. So I mean, hats off to those guys, and you know, hopefully they can bounce back. I don't think next year, but maybe 2026, 2027. You know, maybe they can make another run. This is a great story for those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm sorry, Chad. I don't know if you want to say anything, but I don't know what they're going to do for their core guys next season. Most of them are under contract. I like to say Turner probably lost a few $1 million, maybe tens of millions.
Man, you got
after
Oh,
this.
yeah,
you
he
get up
lost
off
at least
of Miles
so,
Turner?
Huh?
Nah, I'm not getting up off of Miles
No?
Turner.
No.
I'm not.
Okay.
Look, honestly, like the future for Indiana is
I would. Fuck
pretty
you talking
bleak. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bleak.
Got to
I
go.
mean,
You said it's bleak?
yeah, I mean, like it's not good.
Yeah.
no.
So
Well,
like,
the good news is they control all their picks, so they don't have any picks out.
Look here.
They have one pick that's
Okay,
protected
yeah.
for the second round for.
I'll rephrase that. Their immediate future, as far as next season,
They're
next
not
season
good.
is not looking good. Like Halliburton's not going to play, and you're going to have to go out and get that's an irreplaceable kind of guy. So you're going to have to go and get somebody that's going to be able to fill. You're not going to be able to compete for a championship unless Tyrese were to somehow, some way come back by April, which with an Achilles injury, no chance.
Yeah.
You know what you
So
Yeah.
do? You flip Miles Turner. Get him out of there. I'm trying to tell you.
That ain't gonna be enough.
He ain't gonna
Yeah, he
last.
needs to go.
He's not gonna make it. He's not
Nah.
gonna
For who though?
Okay,
They're
don't-
not
you're
good.
like
Big
Trey
as
Young or
Thomas
something.
Bryant and Tony
You
Bradley.
I don't
Who
know.
Miles Turner for?
You cannot
I don't know for
flip
who,
him. You
but
cannot
gotta
flip
go.
him.
They
Yeah.
can't. They
Has to
can't
go.
flip
Can't
Miles
flip
Turner.
Watch.
They don't
He
have a
gotta go.
backup
You can't
big.
give me a you can't flip him. All their
I don't
great
care what you say. He
young
has to go.
backups always get hurt. Trust me, I know. I draft them every
Here we
season.
go.
Well, plus, and if you're
Face
gonna
it.
just plug in a point guard, you
Here we
want a
go.
point guard or a center that can do everything
Right.
and make it easier on
Oh,
the
yeah.
point guard.
I know.
But anyway-
if I'm them, I'm looking at a guy like Chris Paul, who's leaving the Spurs for sure.
Good night. No, that-
No.
Yeah.
that is not
Okay.
happening.
Yeah.
That is
Chris
not
Paul.
happening.
Really?
Goddamn,
Chris Paul on the
Just
Indiana
to plug him in.
They
picture.
been off. Hey, they been off going to get Malcolm Brogdon back. Go get the
Exactly.
president.
Paul just wants to retire in LA. He ain't gonna go to Indiana.
That's
Right.
true.
He said, "Yeah, I miss my
To the
kids. I want to be
cornfield.
around my
He said
kids.
this is-
Indiana,
my
here I
kids, he gonna
come."
go to the
That's
cornfield. Okay.
That's not happening. All right. On that note, the NBA is crazy. We couldn't have a day just to be about the finals, so we had a trade.
You gonna
KD
talk about
gets
him
traded to
again?
the.
You gonna talk about him again?
Is this your pop?
Is this your vibe?
No.
KD gets traded to the Houston Rockets. The exact trade, but it was Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, 5 second-round picks, and then the 10th pick in this Wednesday's draft for Kevin Durant. Initial thoughts on the trade for my part. I thought getting the 10th pick was valuable for the Suns. I don't think the Rockets probably valued that pick because they have so many young talent. They actually can afford it. Like they couldn't draft that player anyway unless they traded somebody else out there. For the Rockets, you don't lose any of your young talent. You still have Amen Thompson. You still have Fred VanVleet, Sengun. You still have Phoenix's, which is the most important thing. They're 2027 and 2029 first. So if D-Book ever does want to get traded, you could dangle that and say, hey, you got your picks back. On the Suns front,
You don't want to.
I don't like the trade that much. It's rumored that they're going to keep Jalen Green. I'll see about that. They might buy out Bradley Beal. There's just so much chaos going around Phoenix right now. I think those 2 picks that Houston has is so valuable, and we don't know the impact of what this trade will be anyway. So what's your guys' thoughts on KD going to Houston?
We're gonna go in
It
order
was,
on this one, or hang on.
I'll go with I'll start with the Suns first. The Suns still have so much to make up on their roster. They're not going to be a competitive team. It doesn't matter. I'll just leave that there because I didn't want to jump into that too much. But I'll tell you the biggest loser on this trade, after we saw what happened in the Game 7, is every single Eastern Conference team that didn't try to make this trade happen.
Miami.
Every Eastern Conference team could have possibly added Kevin Durant under some sort of condition, assuming numbers would have played out. I didn't go through every Eastern Conference team, but you could add Kevin Durant, and it's almost like these teams in the East that we didn't think were competitors, they have a magical year next year because 2 superstars are out for we presume for the entire year.
Right.
So I think for the Rockets, it elevates them. I think they absolutely won this trade by giving away 1 first-round pick, 2 players, and then 5 second-round picks. To me personally, second-round picks, I would hand them out like Pez dispensers. I don't really care. You can hit very few of them, but you can go back and look at drafts, and a lot of these guys just don't make it. I mean, it's a hard thing to do, is to say I'm going to land a second-round superstar that can really elevate my team. So I think the Rockets won. I've said it on the previous pod. I'm not a fan of Durant going to young teams, but I think this was the right price. It showed me that there wasn't much value for Kevin Durant when this was the trade package. When at first and this is just coming off Orlando making the big trade and just giving away all their first round picks. So I like the trade for the Rockets. I think every Eastern Conference team is kicking themselves in the rear end, seeing that now, not only is Tatum out, but now Halliburton is out as well. And you could have somebody like if you could have lined it up and made some kind of work. I don't know if it would have, but a team like that already has 2 superstars in Maxey, and then golly, my mind's blank, Embiid, you could have instantly been shot up. So there's plenty of teams that could have done something, but that's where I think it is. I think it worked out for both teams. So
Hey, what you think?
I don't know. I feel like Phoenix is just ass in general. So it's like you have so much talent on one team, but you can't really do anything with it. To be honest, I think Houston might be a sleeper next year. I mean, they do have like some young talent like Thompson, Sengun, even Tari Eason. Like they're still pretty young. So once you add somebody like KD, and then you still got VanVleet, Who else I got on there? Steven Adams. He's still a good player. I think that's like a championship team that you can build around to help build up like Thompson, who's really, really good player. He's really, really good. I don't think Phoenix got anything from this trade. They got like a bucket of water in like 2 quarters. That's it.
Hey man, Jalen Green gonna be a Laker, man.
Are you scared now that there's a new best team in Texas or what?
Nah, man. I still got faith in my Spurs.
Man.
Look, Wendy is healthy, Fox is healthy, and the team is young. Like they're not an older team like the Houston Rockets. So I think down the line, the Spurs is going to be a championship team.
Yeah.
Any team that's in that division is going to go through absolute hell. That's probably that might be the most interesting division next year.
Yeah.
Or however they shake it out after the expansion is announced.
I can go ahead and give my thoughts, I guess.
Yeah.
First glance, I really think this is a good deal for Houston. And I really want to look at this from simply a KD perspective and how he fits with the team. If you look at KD's career, he built himself in OKC, and you could argue that ever since then he's gone ring chasing. Golden State, then him and Kyrie tried to build something in Brooklyn, and then Harden joined them. And then in Phoenix, you tried to pair yourself with Booker and Beal, and it's like you go to all these teams with all these superstars, and you have so much expectations. The beauty about a team like Houston is you're going to fly under the radar. You're in a generally smaller market, kind of a middle of the pack team.
What Phoenix was.
Yeah, you're also in a situation where you're surrounded by a lot of young talent. There's not really a second superstar. There's a few borderline stars like a Şengün or a ascending Amen Thompson. I think it's a beautiful situation because KD can just go hoop. Like he doesn't have to worry about outside attention, or I don't think he really has to worry about media. The expectations.
There's gonna be some media there.
Yeah, nothing like you would face in like one of those West Coast teams.
Like Brooklyn.
But
it's KD. It's like Bron. If you go anywhere, it's gonna be media regardless.
Yeah, you can make that argument. I think for him, he can fly under the radar to a certain degree, and he can just hoop. And I think he's going to go in there and contribute and do exactly what they need him to do. I do think they're going to be a very tough team to beat in the West. Now, from the Suns side, I'm not going to let them go easy because, number one, I hate the Suns. I'm a Mavs fan. I have a bitter hatred for this franchise.
Yes.
I hate the Suns. So,
leaving
it there.
Crazy.
That's all I have to say about that. Moving on, Phoenix, if you look at this for them, it just makes no sense. Like that, I was talking on our last pod about like, they're going to have to rope in a third team to get like for somebody to take Jalen Green because they're not going to do it. And they took him anyway. So I was just like, you have Beal, Booker, and Jalen Green. Like those are all
Grayson Allen, all the same position.
Yeah, I'm just like, it just doesn't make sense for me. And Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker together, I mean, you can make a Netflix documentary off of that alone. So, I mean, there is no chance that sticks. I doubt Dylan Brooks stays in Phoenix. Jalen Green, apparently they're going to keep him, but I have no idea. But Phoenix is an absolute mess. They've done this to themselves. If you look at what they did when they traded for KD, they never should have made the trade for KD because I personally thought they had a championship core, and they did. They had Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Devin Booker, Ayton. Those are the kind of like if you look at OKC, like those are the kind of guys they had. Like very good role players like Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson. Like those kind of guys are what's going to get you a championship, not superstar talent. And they gave up all that talent for Kevin Durant. And because of that, and then I honestly thought the worst thing they did was trade for Beal because they were decent before that. They had decent depth, and then they traded for Beal. I was just like, now you have nothing. You've got 3 guys making $50 million. You're in the second apron. You're cooking yourselves. So it's really stupid what they're doing. But gotta move on.
I think an underrated aspect for the Houston side too, like going back to like when he went to Brooklyn, when he went to Phoenix. I mean, for Houston, everybody knows their role already. Like in Brooklyn, you had Bruce Brown, who was trying to be your 3-and-D wing. You had in Phoenix, you had Tyus Jones trying to be your 3-and-D point guard. Like they were just out of position. He's going to Houston. Everybody knows what their role is. he's just going to go be Kevin Durant. I think that's more. It's more of an easier fit for him, just because everybody knows his role. I think an underrated aspect too of this trade. Booker had Beal. They had Booker and Beal. They had, and then in Brooklyn they had Kyrie and Harden, right?
Yeah.
So I think might be a little bit harder for him on offense because they don't have these awesome offensive players around him. He might have to work a little bit harder than he usually does on offense. But I think it's still Kevin Durant. He's going to get to his shot. I think a beautiful thing is KD and then Thompson pick and roll. They double KD, dumps it down to Amen, and he's going downhill to the rim with Sengun at the dunker spot or him just dunking. That's a very scary. I don't know how you guard that. I think for Houston too, this opens up more minutes for the third overall pick last year, Reece Shepard, Cam Whitmore. I mean, they have a lot of talent that still just needs to be tapped in. I think it's a really good trade. I really do.
Yeah, Reed Shepard hung out at the G League all year, man. He's just kind of been waiting for his moment.
Well, and a lot of people
have they made that trade.
The best player in the draft. Like they had him winning Rookie of the Year if he was on like any other team. That's scary. Well, they had a Rockets executive said at the end of the season, our most talented offensive player is Reed Shepard, and that was with Amen, that was with Fred, that was with Sengun on the roster.
What pick was he? Was he top 5?
He was 3.
He was 3.
Third.
Okay,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah,
like, dude, for him just getting to sit back and watch, and now I think he's gonna be more involved. Oh boy, like that's, ooh.
They're a good team.
For Houston, I think Ja, you got to get. I think the balanced lineup of KD, Sengun, and Van Vliet is going to be a little easier than you think it will. I mean, first off, I agree this is a great trade for Houston. I mean, they were the second seed in the West, and this makes them leagues better. I haven't seen a European center that plays delay action with a guy this versatile since probably like Nurkic and Dame Lillard. So, and KD's going to be 7 feet. So I can't wait to see, Sengun play out of that mid post, his dribble handoff actions. It's going to be great. And then Van Vliet, championship point guard, doesn't really make mistakes. KD goes back to the 3. This is probably the tallest lineup in the league now. He doesn't really have to guard a 4. He doesn't have to bang with 4s. He doesn't have to guard the other team's best player because of Thompson.
I don't think he could guard 3s either.
No.
I mean, what you got Jabari Smith. You got Jabari Smith there,
He'll
so
be
he'll
at
just
the-
take
he'll be
the
at
other.
the
It's kind of
3.
going to be like
So who's the starting shooting guard?
it'll be like Rui. It'll be like Rui with LeBron. Like Rui will take the more dangerous of the two.
The defensive matchup.
And there's not that many teams that a combination of Van Vliet, Thompson, and Smith, like he's not going to have to guard anybody that's going to exert him that crazy. So he'll give them a true 20-point, 50, 40, 90 guy who's taller, a better shooter, and attacks in ways that they couldn't attack. So they'll probably be competing for the second seed, maybe even the first seed, next season. Yeah. And and this really balances out their floor. I mean, and it also balances out their rotation in a way that it can now develop all their young guys. This is just flat out like I can't. This is just a great trade all around. Phoenix's perspective, I think this is Matt Ishbia's just running with his tail between his legs. What was the comment he made like 4 years ago? Like there's 28 teams that would rather switch spots with us.
That wasn't 4 years ago. That was just 2 years ago. He ruined the Suns in 2 years.
Oh my God! Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's a little more recent than that. This is also his former coach's first move at the helm, Brian Gregory. Yikes! But we'll see. I mean, this is what happens when you have. This is what happens when you have a owner with no experience, and you have a general manager with no experience. Both these guys have less than 5 years at these positions, and what their backgrounds are kind of scary when you think about the leadership and how it projects where they go from here. I really hope. I've seen a million different reports on what they're going to do with Jalen Green. I think one report that says that they can maybe get, flip Bradley Beal. They can convince him to, head out. We'll see what they can salvage from there. I don't know. I doubt it's going to be much, but and if they do that, I think that pretty much guarantees they'll keep Green and Booker, and that is just, I don't know. It's just nasty. It's just nasty. I mean, I guess Booker's back at point guard, which is probably his best statistical reason, so good for him. But this is just not good. And they're still in the second apron, which is unsustainable. Even if you just won the championship, it's literally unsustainable. I guess the best thing it does is makes them younger. We'll end on a positive note.
Yeah, the only thing I would be hesitant with this trade if you had to say, because on paper it does look good for the Rockets. I think it looks, it elevates them. It makes them. They were already a 2 seed, so it's not like you can go higher in your conference besides the 1 seed. With now that possibility is there. The one thing that makes me nervous with this trade, and it's something that I keep going back to with Kevin Durant, is he just wants to hoop. On this team, he is the face of the team now. I think he's still the guy the media is going to attack. I think he's still the guy that's going to have to answer the questions. And now he's expected to be the leader or role model in this locker room. And I think that we've seen that in the past, that is Kevin Durant's downfall in the league, is he does not want to be a vocal leader. He doesn't want to be a team leader. He's been, he's kind of like Kawhi Leonard in a sense. Like, they just want to play basketball, and then they want to get their car, pack their bags up, and go home. They don't want to do any of the extra work. At least that's what we see. Again, we're not in the locker room, but that's what we see. Durant's made it public. He just wants to hoop. He doesn't want to do anything else. So if I had to knock it, that was always my hesitation about sending him to such a young team, is that will he change his personality, which is hard at 37 years old, to say, okay, this team has all the qualifications on the court. I've got to be more of a vocal leader and kind of guide them to get to that championship. That's what I'll be curious to see if Durant can do.
I agree. Oh no, go ahead, Ben.
One quick thing. I agree with that. That's a good point. But like, my message to him is like, if you want to just hoop, if you want to straight hoop, go to Charlotte, bro. I mean, like, go pull up to Washington. Like, if you want to go hoop, you can do that. But like, if you want to go win a championship, that responsibility comes with it. You're Kevin Durant. You're not a role player. So it's like, I think when it comes to that, KD, I mean, like, he's one of the greatest players ever to touch a basketball, probably the purest scorer ever. That's what he's known by. He's respected. He's earned that respect. So it's like, that comes with responsibility. People are going to expect you to lead because of how good you are and because of who you are. So it's like, I get that you just want to hoop, but you got to take on that responsibility. Like, if you want to go hoop, go to the bottom of the West or the East. They're hooping. They're just playing basketball down there. There's nothing else going on. So it's like, that's my take, John. I'll let you continue.
No, all I was gonna say, I think the Matt's perspective on the like leader and all that, I think that this is a rare occasion too, because I think the leader of the locker room is the coach. I think it is Ime Udoka. I think he has such a vocal presence in the locker room and this attitude that I don't like. Yes, I think he still needs to become more of a leader, but he's 37. I don't think he can become something at this point. But I think it helps where you have this pit bull of a coach that he's kind of an asshole and all that. So, yeah.
Okay, you got any thoughts?
If I'm being honest, I really want to see how they pair up against OKC going into next season. I really, really want to see that. Because, of course, I'm pretty sure Amen Thompson is going to be the primary defender on Shea. So, with OKC coming off the championship, how is everybody else on the team going to elevate? But I think with OKC, you got 2 players that have championship experience. They can teach the young guys how to elevate, especially with KD now being the leader of the team. I really want to see what he's going to do to elevate the Rockets.
I think, with OKC, like even their regular season matchups last year, they had a few classics. Obviously, Dylan's not there anymore, so that kind of brings the Hollywood aspect out of it. But I think from like a player-to-player perspective, they have a lot of very similar aspects to their team. They've got young guys who are ascending. They've got stars who are, kind of implanted into their system. I think now the only thing that separates them is they've got a 37-year-old Kevin Durant who's probably going to get you 25 or more a night. Looking at I think the biggest thing I'm interested in seeing is Amen Thompson. You could just tell last year just the way he plays. I mean, Braun said it when these kids were drafted, like they're not like the rest of us, and you can just tell instantly like they have such a passion and a love for the game that shows. They're very both of the twins are great. Obviously, Asar in Detroit. Had a great series as well. But Amen is really showing that he can step up when they need him. And I think he's going to be a very interesting watch this season. The biggest thing with him, like I've always told, I've got a lot of Houston Rockets fans down in Houston. Shout out to those guys. But I've always said, like, if Amen gets a jump shot,
It's a wrap.
brother. I mean, it's over. I mean, like if Amen gets a jump shot,
he just need to catch and shoot. He don't even need like a tween. He just need to catch and shoot.
He can get to his spots and hit like, I don't know, 38, 39 from three. I mean, it's wraps.
Yeah. And I think too, for the Houston side too, it's like, you'll hear me talk about it a lot. What was the opportunity cost, right? Yeah, they got 37-year-old Kevin Durant, but they didn't give up any of their young assets. And I think that's where it failed on the Phoenix side of things. Like they went into this, we don't believe Nick Richards is a starting center. They didn't get a starting center. We need some of our draft picks back. They didn't get any of those back. And so you're looking at it from Phoenix side, it's like, well, it seems like you kind of did a desperate trade. And then you look at Houston, you're like, okay, let's say KD doesn't work out in 2 years. I still have all my tradable first. I still have all my young players, all my young talent. And they still might make another move. Because of the trade too, they still have access to the MLE. Like, what if they're not done either? So I think overall this trade was just amazing opportunity cost for the Rockets because they didn't give up a lot and they still have everything that they value more.
They need to go get an enforcer now. Yeah. You're not going to get a Dylan Brooks, but I think you need to go get an enforcer, a defensive guy. I think that's what you need to use that mid-level exception on.
Honestly, like, to go back to your question, Matt, I do agree that the coach is probably the leader, but they also have – he's not – if you're looking for, like, a captain of the team, I don't think he'll make KD that captain. It'll probably be a guy like Fred VanVleet, Jeff Green.
Maybe it is Amen.
Steven Adams.
I don't know.
It's not what –
and honestly, for an enforcer, I still think – Steven Adams is probably still the most scary guy in the league, honestly. Well, or strongest
KD's
guy.
reunited. I just realized that.
I don't know about the scary. He's the strongest in the show.
I just realized he reunited with Steven Adams. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So I don't think KD. I'm not too concerned with him disrupting the leadership hierarchy that Udoka has established since he left your Celtics, since you guys kicked him out of town. But I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be good. I'm not really sure. Like, they're probably not even in the first apron too, right? This is just a great move for them, and I'm sure I think they still have a huge pick arsenal too.
Well, they have those Phoenix picks, which I think is probably the most important asset in the entire league right now, because I don't think Phoenix is going to be good in 2 years, and let alone 4. So
they won't even be good next year.
Yeah, well, they got yeah. Well, they traded. Yeah, the 10th pick was back for them, and then they have like a whole bunch of swaps for the 2026 season. Then they have a swap with Brooklyn 2027, and they also have Phoenix's pick. So these guys, they can be like a mini OKC in terms of their future.
The biggest thing for Phoenix in making this trade was they wanted to get it done before the draft because they wanted to get a pick. And I think Houston had that 10th pick, and they wanted that badly. You could just tell. So I think that played a factor in them really rushing into this decision.
Yeah. I mean, back to what you were saying, let's see. They are right now, they a second apron team. Not by much.
What other?
I think they a first or a second apron team. Let me look. The active cap.
I don't think they're a second apron team.
Houston or Phoenix?
Houston.
Houston.
Because Phoenix is for sure a second apron team.
Yeah,
sure.
Hey, I know Phoenix
can qualify as a third apron team, brother. If that doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just crazy, man. Trading. I mean, how much did you give up for KD just to turn him into Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, and a 10th pick?
Yeah, here's the first apron.
Bucket of water.
Oh yeah, they under the first apron. Damn.
Yeah, they've got about $3 million in space.
So that means they get the full MLE, and they can aggregate contracts, receive more in a deal if they want to.
Yeah, you got to get one more piece for your bench now. I think that's the key.
And what type of piece do you think that is? Because I think they could go a couple. Like for me, this is gonna sound crazy. I think they could go. KD could call up his old friend Tyus Jones. Like as much as I love Reed Shepherd, and I think he has so much potential, that I still don't think they have. Like maybe they need a more proven backup point guard or more point guard creation.
Yeah,
shot creation.
Yeah, I agree. I was gonna say they need a shooter. I was going to say another shooter. You know, we'll see if Reed Shepherd can be that. You know, but one thing this does, like, I don't even know if a guy like Udoka is going to want to play a bunch of bigs. I'm sure he'll probably try to use Sengun in a role like maybe this can be my only center. Maybe I don't have to do Sengun Adams double big anymore. Maybe I can have Jabari Smith in my 5, and I can do, you know, I can have like a super sized small ball lineup. You know, this unlocks lineup possibilities that
still huge, like you said.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's small ball. I mean, you can take out Sengun, put Tyree Eason, and boom, small ball already. You know, you got a super versatile, switchy lineup with guys that could hug trees. You know, you can do so many things with it. It's crazy what this. You could take Van Vliet out, and put Cam Whitmore at the 1 with Tyree Eason. So like. The Terra Twins are still going to be Terra Twinning, and this unlocks lineups that they haven't had before. So really, if I'm the Houston's GM, I'm probably seeing. I think I need a shooter right now. We'll see if they can be Reed, and if not, I'll talk to Udoka, see if he wants another big. I think he'll say no, and then another guard could be it because he's got enough wings. So
yeah. I think an underrated aspect of this trade that we haven't talked about too is just I mean Kratos, you touched on it a little bit, but just Sengun in general. Like Sengun got doubled a lot just posting up last year, and that was just because they didn't have no shooting around him. Now you put Sengun and KD on the same side of the ball, you're not going to be able to double team like you used to. Or you're going to pay for it.
Exactly.
So I think this could open up Sengun for sure.
And if Reed works out, that's another shooter. So you could go.
That's another shooter, yeah.
You could go Sengun. You could go Sengun, Van Vliet, KD, Reed, and whoever's hitting that night. Let it be Smith. Maybe Jabari, maybe Amen. We'll see what he develops into. But you got a lineup of 4 shooters you can put around him, and whoever the 5th guy is for that day.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all got any last thoughts on anything?
I want to see Houston roll out the first all shooting guard lineup next season. That's it.
Houston?
I mean, Phoenix. Excuse me. I want to see Phoenix roll out the first.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the new and improved Goran Dragic, Bledsoe, and
I saw that tweet. I saw that tweet today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ben, you want to close it out for us?
Let's do it, man. All right. We've been announcing this for the past couple pod episodes, but it's coming up soon. Wednesday, we will be live at 7 o'clock during draft time to react in real time to every single pick, every single trade, every single chaotic thing that goes down. We'll see where the kid from Duke goes. We'll see where Ace Bailey goes, Edgecombe, so many other guys. Dylan Harper. We're really excited for Wednesday. We'll be on for a really long time. So pop in, leave a comment, even come say hello. It'll be a fun time. But yeah, that is our most recent event that's coming up.
Yeah, just closing thoughts. Now that the finals are officially over, tomorrow teams could negotiate with their own free agents. They just can't be finalized till July 6th, so expect a lot of motion. And then, like Ben said, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on the draft night. We'll be here to react to it all, break it all down. It should be a pretty active draft night with a bunch of trades, I think, as well. I think teams are seeing how who came out of the East, for example. I don't think they fear anyone, especially with Halliburton's injury. So, yeah, it should be exciting. Please join. Please join.
Yes, sir.
And then with that, we're going to wrap up today's episode of The Warm-Up. Congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder on winning the championship. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for winning Finals MVP and capping off an incredible season. We'll see you guys we'll see you guys on Wednesday. So, please join in and, peace.